Quickly introduce yourself, tell us where are you from?
I'm DJ Woody from near Manchester in the UK, basically.
Right.
I'm Tiger Style from Ashford in Middlesex, just outside London.
What brings you here? Why are you here? You start this time.
I scraped my way through the Advancement UK finals, so I'm just here to represent UK in the Worlds.
And I'm showcasing and judging today and tomorrow.
What is the fascination? Can you maybe explain to imagine someone who hasn't seen anything like this before, or doesn't have a sort of...
It's a lot of things actually. It's kind of hard to explain to people who are not really exposed to it. It's like you try to explain to someone what you do, and you end up saying the same old thing, and it's a long story. It's just like basically using the turntable as an instrument. You're not just playing records, but you're manipulating the sound of the record with your hands manually, just to create a new sound of your own.
It's just a really interesting sort of instrument, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I was always sort of into music as a kid and stuff, but there was never sort of an instrument that sort of struck me as, I don't know, like, just used to play around on my parents' hi-fi, you know, with the Public Enemy 7-inch or whatever, you know. And I don't know, there was no other instrument that fascinated me as much, you know. You can play any instrument on it, you know, like, it doesn't matter if it's a horn or drums or a flute, or, you know, you're mastering one instrument to flip, you know. Techniques wise, you know, there isn't like a Bible of, well, there is on some websites these days, but, you know, a Bible of this technique, that technique. There's not like a broken down sort of way of doing it, you know what I mean? It's all there to be discovered and there to be advanced, do you know what I mean?
There's no rules or anything. It's like everyone makes their own style, and you know, there's no one who can say that you can't do that and you can't do this. I mean, it originated from hip hop, everyone knows that. But it's got so diverse now. It's the music involved in turntabling, like what he said, really, you can use any instrument, and that goes for music as well. You can use any music you want, really.
Do you think that's also the appeal it has to sort of say 15, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, you know, that are used to maybe that grew up playing PlayStation and Game Boy and shit?
Yeah.
There you always have a limited number of choices which you can take, you know. There might be thousands, but still it's like
I mean, I do bits of workshops with kids and stuff, like where I live and stuff, like teaching them about DJing skills and stuff like that. And it's always like, it's an instant street cred thing if you can get on a pair of decks and rip it up, you know what I mean? They just love it and think, oh yeah, that's really cool, whatever. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. There's the whole thing of the superstar DJ or whatever, and if you can show them something that, you know, Carl Cox can't do or whatever, you know what I mean? They're impressed, you know what I mean? That's my aim.
How have you experienced the whole, I don't know how to say it, like the way sort of this whole scene has been targeted by big companies that, you know, throwing products up on end onto the market, and what has it done to that scene? Does it advance the music in any way? That kind of, you know, having a choice of 15 mixes and...
It does show, yeah, because it's more varied that way. You get more of a choice, and people, it appeals to different tastes. You know, because, you know, some people like to scratch, some people like to juggle, some people like to do this and that, you know. You can go off in your own direction. It's not all just for one thing, so, you know.
I think it's good, you know, you can't just be a hardcore traditionalist and say the only equipment you must use for turntablism is Technics 1210 and crappy beaten up whatever mixer, you know what I mean? Like, scratch DJs want crossfaders that come straight in. They want smooth as hell crossfaders. They want good, you know, and at last, you know, companies are actually listening to them and developing products that we want, you know. I mean, like, you know, there's like the Vestax turntables, whatever, you know. As a turntable, I mean, not trying to be a, you know, Vestax guy or anything, but, you know, like, just the pitch control and stuff, it makes it more, it brings the art form closer to actual, it being a musical instrument, you know, because you've got that accuracy, you know, on the pitch and on the start and stops. you know, it's you know, you can do what you want with it, rather than sort of staying within the boundaries of a technical sort of, you know, what capabilities the equipment's got, you know.
How much time do you spend on practicing these days? I know you must have spent hours on end in your bedrooms or whatever, but now these days, now that you've advanced to a certain level, how much practice is it these days for you?
It kind of varies now, because I used to, first when I was really really hungry for battles and stuff, I used to do about 8-9 hours a day, just straight, not straight, but have tiny breaks in between, but just like scratching and beat juggling, just constantly coming up with like new stuff and just practicing it over and over again, so that when
Jeez, hardcore though.
so when you go over stuff, like it's better that way, because then you can like scrap all the rubbish bits that you think that you think is shit, and then you can just like keep like going over what you think is good, and then yeah, that was that. Nowadays it's not that much different. It's about 6 hours a day now, but that's just like, it's just, I really practice a lot of scratching now.
Do you get to these kind of points really quickly, you know, where you practicing and you forget everything around you, that kind of...
Yeah, go totally into the zone, man. Sometimes I scratch for ages and I don't realise how long I've been scratching until my arm's nearly fallen off. And it's just like, as soon as I stop, I'm like, oh, fuck! It's like, it really hurts. But I can scratch for ages, but when I'm practicing, it's like a full-time job, because I've actually quit my job to practice for all these battles and stuff, and because that takes up so much time, the amount of time I scratch and practice, I could have done a whole day's work.
Does your girlfriend say to you, so your 9-hour stints or 8-hour stints or?
Oh man, we've had plenty of arguments about that. The usual saying where you do, she says, you love your decks more than you love me.
That sounds familiar.
And you question it, but
I had my decks before I had you.
But it's just like, it's right now. This is really important, because this is what I want to do. This is like I want for a career. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do whatever it takes. Like if it means like putting in the hours every day, then yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. But yeah, you know, sometimes she doesn't like it, but you know, she's cool with it. She's cool. I mean, I'm sure she can't wait for all the battles to be over, and neither can I really, because it takes so much out of you, and you need to get back to like a normal everyday routine again.
See how you do tomorrow, and keep my fingers crossed for you.
Oh man, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for me too, because I'm gonna need every single bit of luck I can get. Nervous, man. Nervous. This is one that I've never actually been this nervous, even though I've been battling all this year, and I've been up on stage quite a bit, and I've been pretty successful so far. But because this is the last one, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself. But I don't actually mind. I wouldn't mind if I lose at all, really.
You've had a good year, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with what I've done. It's just that I don't know what it is. I don't know, I'll figure it out sometime, but it's just like...
Well, it's because you've won everything else so far, and there's that pressure built up, because everyone's like, is Tiger Star going to take this one?
Yeah, like, it's like... I don't know, I'm personally not that bothered if I win or lose, but I'm going to try and like it.
Excellent.